Hi guys, and welcome back to our next video. Now we are continuing the series with SQL injections, and in this video we are focused on user actually login process, because you can encounter different vulnerabilities in user login form. And for example, if the web app is vulnerable, we can actually touch and use queries from the username, because let's say we have a username and password input fields. When we input something there, the backend technology should get that strings and actually make the query to a database to see if it actually counts inside, if it actually encounts inside. So whenever the string we've entered and that record in the database matches, that means that we have that there is such user we entered and we are permitted to log in, if of course both are actually right, for the username and for the password. This is how the very simple login validation works. It just needs a variable that actually saves your username and password, and it makes a query to the database and compares the string from the variable and the string from the database. If they are matching, that means that you there are the user. If they match, you are logged in. So basically, this process, this backend technology is actually requesting something, some queries to a database. So therefore, if they forgot to make the checks and to secure that, well, we are able to actually input SQL parameters. So basically, let's open the view up and show all that in action. We are not going to use burp for that video. We don't need that. Just disable Foxy Proxy, this that and that's all in our Firefox. Yeah, so just disable that. If it's not disable, yeah, okay, it's okay. So now go for 192.168.1.102. Nice. And now we need view up, therefore login as bug bug, sorry, choose bug SQL injection like login form hero hack. And now we see we have a login form, prompt with the login and password. Now whenever we type here, yeah, like here, login, you see invalid credentials. So that means our string ASD and our pass like ASD again was actually sent to a database. It was compared with all the available usernames and passwords, and the database did not find any match, so we are prompted with invalid credentials with the backend technology. You see, you have to fill the link between the database and the backend technology in the front end. Basically, the backend, when we input something here, we input that in the backend technology. The backend technology sent it to a database make the comparison, and therefore the backend technology, if everything is alright, it lets us in and prompt us with a message in new pages. And if something is going wrong, it says the front-end technology that's to say us that we have invalid credentials. So here, in order to actually implement such an attack, such an injection, we need to actually specify the first user or the zero record, because in computer science everything starts from zero. So now if I go 0 or 0 equals 0, basically copy that and paste it below. And now if I go to inspect elements, ID password, let's make it type password type text. Yeah, just to see that I've entered quite the same. So just I faded the front-end HTML locally for my browser in order to display the type not as a password like in symbols, but in pure text, so we are able to see what we've entered. So as you can see, we've entered both fields the same, and basically what we are saying with that is we are wanting to access the first user of the database. So we are skipping that backend validation, because here there are not any. And we are directly interacting with the database. So when we click login, we're going to be prompted with welcome Neo, how are you today? So basically we are now logged in as a first user, which in that case is basically Neo. So in order to actually see if the application is vulnerable, we can again try to type single comma, single quote, and therefore we see we have the SQL error syntax. And when we type that again, login, we are now logged in as Neo, which is like the first user of that database. And we can see there is a post method there because no URL has been changed. We are inputting basically every login form uses a post method, so we are inputting SQL query here in the post method, but for now we don't need quite burp since you saw the actions were quite simple. So basically this is one of the techniques how can you implement a SQL attack on the user field. And now in the future videos we're going to continue with even more vulnerabilities and more attacks. So I really appreciate you guys for watching and stay tuned.